Alright, Klax time. It is the 90s, and there's time for Klax. So, yeah. I'm going to try my best to talk during this run, though it does require a bunch of concentration, and I'm not good at doing two things, or even one thing. But hey, we'll give it a shot. So, disclaimer. So I'm playing this on hard, with the difficulty ramping turned off. If I turned it on, then 1cc it would be impossible. Maybe literally impossible, because it like just gets harder until you are forced to game over. Yeah, so, I don't know. I'm a loser. Who cares? It's fine. And also...
Klax wave.
Right, so I have to get a big X in this first wave in order to get a huge warp. Which is not at all guaranteed at all. So I'm doing this sort of safe strat to just sort of kill time until I get a wild tile. That's really the big thing. You need to get a wild tile, or else you need to get like 9 of the same color. Hey, we got one really early. Alright, so now as long as I get a white here, I should be fine. But yeah, it looks like disaster averted. Alright, there's a white. Yeah, so there are 100 waves, and this is really good because it skips like a million of them. I can't do math. So these waves where it's Klaxes to go, these are the boring ones because like nothing happens, it takes forever. Really the only interesting thing I can do is what I did right there. If you get a 4 in a row, that counts as 2. And 2 is good because, you know, it's better than 1. I usually play this to speedrun because, well, when you're playing on hard, you sort of have to use speedrun strats anyway, because, like, as a wave continues, the frequency at which tiles spawn, it increases, so if you go slow, that's not going to be very good. So, I was pretty worried about getting that big X, actually. I tried like a bunch of safe strategies, and none of them really worked that well, so I'm pretty happy already. That was the biggest blocker to... I say that's the biggest blocker to 1cc, but that's not really true. The whole game is sort of... It's pretty easy to lose it at any time. Because, so below here, yeah. There's this drop meter, so if that fills up, you game over. And it refreshes every 5 waves. Except, at the end of the game, it's gonna not refresh at all. I have to do 91 to 100 without any refreshing. Also nothing. I don't know. Also, I'm tired. Yay. So this wave is really fast. There are some nice messages in between waves, and yeah, in the arcade version here, you actually have time to read them. Actually, I told myself I was gonna go a bit slower so they'd be a bit more readable. So that's what I'm gonna do. Speeds for suckers. There's always plenty of time to play Klax. Very true. You people are always making excuses like, I don't have time, or this game's like a terrible Tetris clone from 28 years ago. Ridiculous. But yeah, they ported this game to like literally everything. The goal is to make it like a big thing. They tried. I like it though. These tile waves are pretty exciting because I get to hit up a lot. Also, one of the tougher things I'm going to be doing is not hitting the split button after each wave, because I'm really used to doing that. So I'm doing a more safe point strategy here. If I were actually like going for speed, I would just assume I'm getting a wild tile, and if I don't, then reset. But, yeah. Let's try to get a 1cc, I think. Alright, I just need a light blue here and I'll be fine. Yay! This is going to be exactly 60,000 here. There's some scoring differences between versions I have to sort of get used to. One annoying one here is, if you do, sort of like two of a color, a wild, and then two of a color in a row, and it only counts that as two. It's hard to describe. Actually, just ignore me. But horizontals are worth more, which makes that helps out. There's a few things that helps out the points waves. I'm only saying that because I played. This is like the arcade version is not the first version of this, or the version I'm more used to. I'm more used to the NES version. That's the one with the wacky music. Getting a bit confusing here. It's also super impossible to read chat.
Yeah. Ooh.
Alright, that went well. So, usually it makes sense to like just warp to the furthest wave possible, but I just warped just to 61 instead of 71. The reason is that this route actually will give me some more fast waves. It avoids a 35 Klax wave. No one wants that. And like a 20 diagonal wave. That's the worst. "20 diagonals? Oh god. Diagonals are definitely the hardest piece, of course. Keeping the board clean, and that's it. Wait, when you're doing diagonals, it's very hard. That's right, Caverns of Cthulhu. One of the fine tracks from NES Klax. I think my favorite thing about that game is also that the music will like bug out and start playing the bass from one song over another song. It's pretty cool. And somehow it doesn't sound that bad. It sounds pretty bad, but... Alright, so... losing a drop is no good, because when you don't do a long warp, then you only get 3. Your drop meter count depends on how far you warp, which is, not very nice. I don't know why they're punishing me for not warping. I guess that's just how the 90s are. They're like, don't want to warp, eh? What are you, chicken? And then no one calls me chicken, so... Well, I guess I am chicken, because I didn't warp. No, they got me there. So yeah, Klaxes are any direction. So 15 diagonals, that's a lot of diagonals. It's really hard to keep the board clean when doing diagonals. And you want to like give yourself a bunch of different options. It turns out there's... For the other goals, I have like a pattern I'm trying to set up the board with, but for diagonal it's a lot more freestyle. You just gotta work with what you get. Like, that can't have been a good usage of wilds, but I don't know, I couldn't see any. There were no pairs.
Ooh.
Sometimes I'll go crazy and try to set up these combos and they don't actually work. I think this will work. I knew that one would work. That wasn't that crazy. I wanted to... Another goal I'm trying to do here is some cool... I want some cool combos. Combos are sweet. So this should be fine unless I get really color screwed. Should be okay. It was a bit confusing at the end. Like, running out of space is no good. But yeah, don't worry, I am playing Klax. It's very true. I am playing Klax. So, the ability to do this thing where I just juggle the whole time, it sort of depends on the wave itself. Some waves, it's just not going to be doable. But this one's nice because it's so spread out. Also, there's like a ton of time between when the drop sound occurs and when it actually counts against your meter. So even though that looked like I had a drop there, not really. So here I'm just doing the big X assumption. Or sorry, the wild tile. Which could come back to bite me, but my setup was terrible, so I didn't see a way out of it. It's gonna be a bit, yeah, I'm just gonna be here a while, waiting for a wild tile, I guess. Just waiting and waiting. It said ooh, but I got like no points from that. Yeah, I don't wanna... I didn't want to do anything too risky because the 1cc is still intact. But this is a bad drought. Okay, that's not going to help either. Not very helpful. Hello, video game. Well, now I got one, but it's, I don't know. I guess I'll just get some more diagonals. Sort of gross. I'm concerned at how I only have one drop left. Alright. Well, at least I got out of it. I can't. I think that might have been the longest I've ever seen with no wild. Well, no, there was one, I guess. It was just way too late. Yeah, so the later this game goes, the more colors you get, which is why it usually gives you disproportionately more wild tiles in the later waves, because it's going to add more and more colors. We're not even at the maximum level. So yeah, like, these strategies where I'm trying to find pairs to work with. Sometimes you don't get pairs for a long time. That's what happened here. So we're definitely in the weeds. Really need a purple or a pink. Yeah. Well, now playing this will ruin everything, but sometimes you gotta ruin everything. Alright, I have a finisher here. Alright, we got out of it. That's good. So, it's really hard to hold the A button to speed up the transition without choosing the next wave. Because sometimes it will like buffer the input and sometimes it won't. But, yeah, I did it. I chose the correct wave. If I didn't, it would be like a giant disaster. I'd be like here for another 5 minutes or so. Wow. I probably have some dumb wave that is impossible. Ooh, Klax wave. You could read donations during this. It's funny because it's a different marathon. Man, imagine Klax at a GDQ. I can't. Yay.
Wave.
This one is fast. I like the delightful letter colors. Like, what color should we use for the letters? All of them. Grr. So the game designer said grr. I don't know why they said that. Man, these fast waves are no good. See? A 4 in a row, Klax counts as 2 Klaxes. Yeah, in the NES version, there's an E between. Klaxes has an E in the NES version. Very controversial. They're like, damn you, we're gonna make this grammatically correct. Also, we're gonna add Blob Ball. That's a good call. Blob Ball is sweet. Oh, I just realized. No, never mind. Ignore me. I realized the wrong thing.
Point wave.
I mean, to be fair, I would not. I would not put Klax if I were in charge either. You would lose all your donations. They'd be like, what is this? Okay, that was way too many. Oh, that wasn't. That was like 90,000. That was 80,000. That was a good amount of points. I don't want overkill, but underkill is really bad. So this is 20 horizontals. That's a lot of horizontals. So if we don't stay clean, this is pretty hard to beat. This is, I hope you like combos, because it's setting up a good one here. I mean, I guess that's not like a chain, but you know. I promise. It's gonna be like, ooh. I want that red one in here too. Bam.
Yeah.
Pretty good, that was worth 8. Good setup here. Ooh, this is really nice. Bam.
Yeah.
So now there's only 4 left, so I don't go for these chain things anymore.
Yeah.
I just go for the KO.
Black.
So that's a really smooth set. Alright, here's the last section. So now we have these black ones. And until wave 100, no more my drop meter is not going to reset anymore. So this is probably the biggest threat to, I mean, other than the big X at the start, it's the biggest threat to losing the 1cc. Though we got, like, it got really dicey there in one of the earlier sections. And one of the diagonal waves I almost topped out, which would have been also game over. This is not very clean. It's harder to keep clean once you get all the colors. Yeah, I try to use different, use verticals, horizontals, use as much as I can so I can, like, place tiles and make them useful without having to throw them back too much. Throwing them back is hard because it's very easy to have them lined up horizontally when they're coming down, in which case that's like a guaranteed drop. I guess I'll do this, because these blues would ruin everything anyway. Sort of weird. Alright, that worked out. I was getting a bit confused there. Let's do the fancy ending, even though we could have just done the red ending.
Ooh. Higher wave.
This one I have to time a bit better because they spawn a bit faster than the ramping distance. But I'm not gonna like just sit here and do Klaxes. Like, boring. Klaxes and Klax? Ridiculous. Okay, so they all spawn in the middle, which is... What is happening? Probably a bug. Possibly hacking. Nobody knows.
Point wave.
Get 5 in a row early for a quick point boost. That doesn't make any sense. What? To get points in the points wave. Alright, so last time I did the non-safe and it sucked, so I'm doing the safe. I mean, this one isn't that safe either. I'll do the semi-safe. Alright.
Yeah.
Bam.
Ooh. Horizontal wave.
Get 4 in a row. See, I like the ones where it's like, play Klax every day, or there's always plenty of time for Klax. Or, smile, you're playing Klax. Those are the good ones, not like these terrible tips. Try getting Klaxes. Okay. Just gonna burn a row here, I think.
Ooh.
Maybe not. If I get another green, I can salvage this. Yeah, that's close enough.
Ooh.
Ooh. This might still be a... Alright. Well, now I changed my mind again. I almost timed that wrong. It's bad. Save me, Weld.
Yeah.
Nice tea. Okay. Yeah, whenever I'm doing the wrong type, usually a very bad sign. Alright, that worked out really... Okay. I'm not gonna say it worked out well, but it worked out.
Klax wave.
Apparently I'm better at Klax at 4 AM.
Ooh.
So oddly, like these last levels are sort of... They're a lot shorter than other waves. Not that they're easier, but... You'll see, like, this one was only... Well, this one was 30, this one's not a good example. But then it's like fast wave, fast wave.
Ooh.
Like a 50 tile wave, but it accelerates super fast. One thing I don't like about this version is just how the audio cuts out. If you like, when it's going like, and you, like I cut it out by placing something else. That sucks, because I like that, I want to hear that sound all the time. Gotta give me my Klax endorphins. I hate it when, like, you do these reckless things because you see one tile that will end it. Then if you misplace it, you're just like, oh no. I guess I'll do that. That was close. Another bad thing is when you try to save 2 and you save none. That's bad. Good, good. Remember to blink your eyes occasionally. Very good. There's just too much intensity. I can't blink my eyes.
Horizontal.
Don't give up now. I give up, actually. Alright, well, it's been fun, guys. Next up is that Othello game. This is the world's smallest puzzle block, actually. There's like 3 puzzle games, sort of. 2.5. So, these fast horizontal waves are no fun, because it's hard to... You don't have a ton of options in the horizontals if something goes wrong. Yay, so we're in wave 100, or wave 00. So my goal is to get a super crazy Mondo Doom combo. It's good to have goals. Alright, so pairs anytime now. So I'm assuming I'm getting a wild tile. If not, then I'll just have to cash in this right side and then it'll be slow. Okay, I got one. Now I need some more of this. Yeah, I can't. I gotta do that. I was just out of stuff to do. That sucks. I wanted to get a 5x4. Get all these points in one shot. And then everyone would have been like, ooh, ah.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll just finish it off with X's.
Yeah.
Bam. That was slower than I thought, but yeah,
Ooh.
there were a couple issues. But yeah, 1cc. My problem was, oh, I have to put in my name. This is my name. My real life name is Ace. Okay, it's not. I gave my estimate, assuming I'd be speedrunning, but that was a dumb idea. So I want this T-shirt real bad. It's amazing. Too bad it's like only 5 and they're like $1 million. Also, yeah, don't mail these people this. I mean, you could, I guess. I wonder if it still exists. Step into the 90s. Yes. And that's Klax. Next up we have some more puzzle games. The opponent doing some Soul Dam and Twinkle Star sprites. And So Long Suckers.